Hello everyone, better late than never. I apologise for being late, but parent duties came into play. My daughter was at a school soccer game this morning, and the soccer game ended up going into, it was a knockout game, ended up going into extra time. So because of that, we're running late and we were downtown, so I popped a notice up saying that I was going to be late, and I've now jumped on as soon as I can. 1:38, so I'm 38 minutes late, so better late than never, I say. So how are you all today? Please jump on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Generally have a good chat with me while we craft. So I've got some fun projects lined up for you today. I was really organised because I had a feeling that I might end up running late. So I was really organised this morning and created all my projects ready to go. Hey Doreen, how you going? Thanks for jumping on. So I created all my all my projects ahead of time so that I could come home and jump on. So I've just had a quick bit of lunch. I'm still drinking my cup of coffee here. And we'll get into some awesome crafting like we normally do. So who's getting excited about the new catalogue coming? We haven't got long now. What have we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days? 1 week. 1 week. You're watching from New Zealand. Look at my mug, Sylvia. Look. You'll get a kick out of that. That was from On Stage over in New Zealand. Every time I go anywhere, every time I travel anywhere, we get a souvenir, and it's always a mug. And so while I was over in New Zealand, and it was my first overseas trip, so I was like, oh my God, I've got to get a coffee mug. So I got my New Zealand coffee mug. So I'm over the moon that I have that. So feel free to share my video. If you love sharing my crafting, please feel free to share my video on your timeline on Facebook. As I said, if you're just jumping on now, I'm so sorry that I'm late. But parent duties get to take over at times, and so it was a really good soccer game. It was 0-0 at the end of time, and we were thinking what happens now, and Denny Lee was actually thinking, oh no, that's okay, whoever's higher on the ladder or whatever will go through, or higher on the score points. But they said no, we're going into extra time, so it ended up being a little bit more epic than normal. So Kathy, well done. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I know, Doreen. The new catalogue is just so wonderful. There's so many awesome things. So I'm actually using a couple of things that I haven't used before today. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun. So I think what we might do is get to crafting, because that's what you want to see. So I'm going to pop you forward down onto my desk. Now, this is the stamp set that I'm going to use. Now, this Delightful Day goes with, it has a punch that it comes in a bundle. So in the new catalogue, it will be as a bundle, and you save 10% on the bundle. So it's the Delightful Day stamp set and the Delightful Tag Topper. So it's got a gorgeous scallopy top tag on it. So we're going to do a couple of projects today using this stamp set. My ink pad colours are, I've got Flirty Flamingo, Pear Pizzazz, Smoky Slate, and Basic Grey are going to be my colour palette. And I'm going to use some of my blends as well. And my cardstock base is going to be Flirty Flamingo, and I'm using some of the Basic Grey and some Whisper White. Okay, so I'm going to move that aside and let's get organised here so we can get crafting. Okay, so one of the first things was, I thought, seeing it's got a tag topper punch, we definitely want to make a tag. So that's one of the first things that I decided that I would do today, is make a cute little tag. So I've already got my stamps mounted up, so I'm so organized. So I'm going to use, I sat them on top of each other. I'm going to use the gorgeous little, this is the leaf and the stems and this little flower. So I'm actually going to use that to make this cute little tag. I'm going to take them off that and put them on a little one. Okay, that'll be better. All right, so I decided what I would do is just do tone on tone to create a little bit of interest here. So I randomly stamped just with the stems, just randomly stamped around and stamped off. Totally okay to stamp off, but randomly stamped them around, and I missed that one there. Can I line that up again? Take my glasses off so I can see. I know that sounds crazy, but I'll turn it over and start again. Okay, let's get into this. Hey Diane, hey Priscilla, how you going? Hey Karma, how you going? From Idaho, thank you for joining me. And from Maryland, Diane, thank you for joining. Okay, so randomly we're stamping around the place like this. So half on, half off, and we're going to line up the flowers. And there I go again. We're going to line up the flowers. Just pretend I stamped that really well. Okay. And I think I'm just going to pop one up there. Okay. So then I'm going to bring in the tag topper punch. Hey Shirley, how you going? Hey Leanne, thanks for joining, girls. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the tag top punch. Now, this tag is cut at, I did it at 1 7/8 so that it was not quite 2. And the reason that I do that, we have like a 2-inch slot, I think a 1 3/4 inch, and maybe a 1-inch slot. But I find if you just do that 1/8 of an inch smaller, it slides in really, really well. Hey, Christy, how you going? Thanks for joining me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got some scrap pieces of Whisper White here. I'm going to stamp wishing you a delightful birthday. So I'm going to do that in our basic grey. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. And just with our basic grey, I'm going to stamp down onto that Whisper White. Okay. Now this is where my blends come in. I just want to, the little tiny triangles and things there, I just want to colour those. So I've got my light Flirty Flamingo, and I've also got my dark Flirty Flamingo. So I'm just going to randomly colour those. So that's with the light. Just using the fine tip end because it's easier to control. They're tiny little bits, so you don't need a lot of colour. And one of the tips with your blends is don't colour right out to the edge of the stamped image. It will soak out to the edges of your stamped image, so you actually don't need to colour right out to the edge. Are you getting ready for work, Christy? Hello, Julie. Hey, Cheryl Lee, how you going? Nice to see you from Alberta. Thank you for joining. Yes, new nails today. Thanks to Sarah down in Molesworth Street. Okay, so now I've got my 2-inch punch. I'm going to punch that out with my 2-inch punch. So I've got the sniffles. I just had a bit of a sneezing attack. Just before I came on, I had a big sneezing attack. So that will just fit into, you cut a little bit off, but not a lot, into our 2-inch punch. So then with some of our basic grey, and that's not the piece, I've got a scrap piece here, I'm going to cut out a starburst with the basic, grey. Okay. So then I'm just going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Actually, Shirley, when you were sending me the message about the nails on Facebook this morning, I was actually at the nail place right. I was just about ready to sit in the chair when you were sending me the messages. That's why I was like, any ideas? I went down there and I was like, I have no idea of what I want. So Sarah was great. She just went, what about this and what about that? And I was actually stamping some butterflies, and I had oh, you just got the hurry up. You're eating lunch and then quickly you're off and going. Okay, so I've now got the flower part here that I haven't stamped. So the flowers are really strategically designed that there's a long stem and a shorter stem. And they're strategically designed that you can roughly line them up. Now, please don't panic if you don't line them up exactly right, because it's totally okay. This is the idea of stamping. We can just roughly line them up because it doesn't even matter if they don't even touch. But that's just given a really cute little background. And then I'm actually just going to pop that on with some Tombow. Just like that. And I have some of this ombre ribbon, which I'm thinking is retiring. So I don't know whether it's still left. It's actually Calypso Coral, but I thought it goes really well with Flirty Flamingo. It suits really well. So I'm going to use that, and I've got some white organdy ribbon as well. So I'm actually going to cut a piece of that, and it's going to go through that top part. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to come through from the back from memory to do this. From the back and loop them through. So bear with me. Hopefully I can get it through this hole, both of them together. I'll use my pokey tool. Okay, so like that. And then loop my ends through. And just like that. Sorry, I feel like I'm all fingers here. And I'm sniffling. I feel like I need to go and grab a tissue. Okay. So looping it through the back and then pulling my loops tight. Come on, go. And we've got a super cute little tag. I think I'm going to do a bow with both of those ribbons together. Okay, so tie it like you're just going to tie a normal bow, but you've got both of the ribbons together. So you're going to make a loop with both ribbons. Now this idea was in my head, so I hope it's going to work. Oh, no worries, Christy. See you later. Hey, Susan, how you going? Thanks for joining. Hey, Wendy. Thanks for sharing, Wendy. Okay. And we're going to pull it to make our cute little bow. Just like that. So this is something that you can do if you've got a couple of colours in something and you wanted to incorporate both colours. You can do like a double bow like this. So who out there that's watching, who got their paper pumpkin kit? Who was over the moon about the gorgeous paper pumpkin kit that we got, the Hugs from Shelley kit? We're having a night tonight. There's a couple on here today that are watching that are coming tonight. We're having a paper pumpkin night tonight at my house. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm just going to, with a glue dot, pop that on there like that. So how super cute is that? Using this set. So very, very quick, easy, cute little tag. You could pop it onto a present. You could do maybe a bag of lollies and tie it around the top and have it hanging off a bag of lollies. But really cute and really easy to create. Okay, So moving right along to the next thing that I'm going to do, I have a piece of Whisper White, and I've got 2 pieces of Whisper White actually. I've got that there. 2 pieces of Whisper White. I've got a scrap piece and I've got a proper piece. So the scrap piece, what I'm actually going to do is stamp the sentiment "Just a Little Something for You," which is really, really cute. And it's actually got like a curved look. And so because of that curved look, it lends to using like a circle punch or something to punch it out. So my idea was, I thought I'll stamp it and do a cute little flower down below. So I'm going to ink that up with my basic grey and stamp it. Okay, so just a little something for you. And then with my Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to ink up my little flowers. And I'm going to place them just down underneath that sentiment like that. And then with the gorgeous little stems, which I need to clean with my Stampin' scrub, I'm going to get my Pear Pizzazz out and stamp the stems with my Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so just line those stems up with the flowers and stamp like so. So how super cute is that? And then I'm just going to once again use my 2-inch punch and punch that out. Oh, you made yours, Lisa, and changed a few of the sentiments? Yep. Oh, you had Sylvia said she had a paper pumpkin afternoon on Sunday. Wendy said she's made up her full paper pumpkin kit and having a night with your sister to make hers. That sounds awesome, Wendy. Okay, so 2-inch punch, I'm going to punch that out. I'm then also going to use my Starburst punch, and I'm going to punch out a Flirty Flamingo Starburst punch. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on the front layer now. Okay, so I've got a piece of Whisper White. Now this piece of Whisper White is cut at 5 1/4 inches this way and 3 1/2 inches this way. It's my smaller layer that I normally put on the front of my cards. So what I actually want to do, I'll layer that up with some dimensionals now and get that ready, because I want to use my sentiment as a guide to where I'm actually going to stamp. And this is a great idea for when you're trying to work out a bit of interest behind your sentiment, especially when you've got flowers or nice leafy sprays or something like that. So I could, if I wanted to, maybe draw a circle, but I don't like, I'm not one for drawing circles and then having to rub it out when I'm finished. So what I do is I just place it there like that, and I work out where I'm going to stamp my stamps. So I want a spray of the green leaves coming out from here. So there. Okay, so just like that. I then want another spray coming out here. So I just move that away and stamp that like so. So as you can see, I've got my gorgeous sprays of green coming out. So I've got 2 up there. I want to just pop 1 coming out down here. So I'm going to turn that stamp around and have it upside down. And see where that is, move it, and place that right there. So can you see where I'm coming from there? I wanted a nice spray up the top and down below. So I'm then going to take my Flirty Flamingo and stamp my flowers. So just lining those flowers up again with those 2 stems. So there's 1 there. it's such a cute little flower, set of flowers, and one there. Super, super cute. And then I'm just going to turn that one upside down so I can actually get the flowers lined up really well. And one there. Okay, so there we have some gorgeous flowers. Now I looked at that and thought, that's cute, but it needs a bit more oomph. So in the stamp set, there's this gorgeous little, I'll show you here, this little splotch stamp. So I thought in our smoky slate, I'll stamp some of those little splotches around. So I started off with stamping up through here. I thought, it needs a splotch there. And then I thought, and it needs more, and it needs more, and it needs a little bit more there, and maybe some up in that corner there. So then I'm going to do the same thing down the bottom here. And just randomly, so you can see instantly, sorry, I'm up a bit high, instantly, you can see, sorry Wendy, you said you missed the stamp set. It's called the Delightful Day, brand new, coming in our new catalogue, and it has the matching Delightful Day, Delightful tag topper punch that goes with it as well. It's probably a stamp set that maybe you may overlook because it doesn't really sort of stand out in the catalogue, but I actually just looked at it and thought that looks like a super cute stamp set. So now I have a piece of, I still thought it needed something more. So I have a piece of our gorgeous burlap, our white burlap ribbon, and I thought that looks really nice, but it still needed a bit more oomph. So that's where the Calypso Coral ribbon comes back in. And I thought I could pop a layer of the Calypso Coral over the top as well. They are cute flowers. I'm actually going to have to go and get a tissue. So I'm just going to let you, I'll just pop that stamp set there so you can have a good look at the stamp set and the tag topper. I'm just going to race out and grab a tissue to blow my nose. Oh, so much better. It's always the way, isn't it? You get a runny nose when you haven't got a tissue around. It is awesome. It's a beautiful set, and I think there'll be a lot of use for it, especially using the tag topper as well. I think will be great. Okay, so just with some double-sided tape, which should be right there. There it is. I'm just going to pop a bit of double-sided tape down to stick that burlap ribbon into. And with my Take Your Pick tool, grab the backing off and pop that burlap ribbon across. And then with some more double-sided tape, hopefully this will work. I'm just going to stick a little bit of double-sided tape in the middle there. If not, I might have to use glue dots, but we'll see. We can hopefully get it to work. Yes, we will. Okay, that comes off, and our Calypso Coral ribbon goes down over the top as well. Okay. It would go nicely with very vases. Yes, it would. It's a gorgeous little flower. I'm thinking also too maybe with the Stamparatus and doing a wreath stamp with it. Gorgeous flower, so I think it would actually be quite good for that as well. Okay, so I decided that to give it a bit of oomph, I'm going to pop it onto one of our basic grey layers. So I'll do that with some Tombow. So just like that. Okay. And I think I'll pop my sentiment up with some dimensionals again. So this has treats made with love, just a little something for you, to and from, congratulations to the happy couple on your new home, welcome baby, wishing you a delightful birthday. So there's quite a few sentiments in this set. So I'm then just going to place that there nicely. And then a Flirty Flamingo base. And that then just ties in all of the colours that we have used. And we'll pop that on with some Tombow. I've been working madly on my swaps for my incentive trip, and I just realised yesterday I'm down to my last bottle of Tombow glue. Who does that? Who goes ahead and uses things and thinks they've got so much in their stash, and then they realise that they're down to their last bottle of Tombow glue. And I was thinking, with all the live videos that I've planned to do this week, I might run out of glue. That would be really, really a bit scary. Okay, so I think that's a super, super cute card. So that and a gorgeous tag using that Delightful Day stamp set and the gorgeous tag topper punch. So make sure you check that out in the brand new catalogue, and if it's something that you think you might want to pop on your wish list, go right ahead. I'll pop those aside and I'll bring in our next container of goodies. Okay. Now, this one's a super cute card that I've decided to do too. I've decided to use some of our gorgeous in colour. So I'm actually going to use, in this card, I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock, and I'm also going to use Rococo Rose in doing this card. But these are gorgeous new in colours. They're around for 2 years. They're coming brand new in our catalogue. I do have an in colours club. And in the in colours club, you'll collect one colour. It runs over 5 months. You'll collect one colour. And you will collect designer series paper, cardstock, ink pad, re-inkers, Stampin' Right markers, blends, ribbon, embellishments, absolutely everything to do with the in colours. You will collect one colour per month. Now, if you wanted to check that out, up in the link above, you will see my website, which is stampinwithdonnag.com. You can go over there and look at the member clubs, and you will see all the details about my club. Okay, so I'm going to use the gorgeous floral essence, and I'm going to use the punch that goes with it. The perennial flower punch goes with the floral essence stamp set, so that comes in a bundle in our brand new catalogue. Plus, I'm going to use the leaf punch. Now, the leaf punch was with our Painted Harvest stamp set, I think it was. It came in a bundle, and that was in our Occasions catalogue, I think, last year. Painted Harvest, I think, is still in our new catalogue, I think, from memory. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. But this punch actually fits this leaf stamp. So we were all asking that at Onstage. Does this fit that leaf stamp? That looks like it would fit the leaf punch, you know, and it does. Take it from me, it does. I will be showing you how it fits today in this card. Okay, so what I've decided to do is just with a piece of Whisper White, I'll move all that out of the way. With a piece of Whisper White, I'm actually going to stamp some of the gorgeous flowers. This one here, this 3-leaf one here. Now, you need to look, when you're about to stamp things, you need to look at how the punch is, okay? So my idea is I looked at the way that punch is, and I'm going to pop the cardstock in there, and that's how I'm going to punch it out. So I need to make sure that my stamp is lined up in the direction that the punch is to make it easy. Otherwise, if you stamp it like that and then you're trying to line the punch up, it's really hard to try and line that punch up. So always remember, when you're going to use a punch, turn the punch over. See what the punch looks like. Look at your stamp. Look at where your stamp's going to sit and go, okay, that's how I have to stamp that on my cardstock. So just a little bit of a hint. So I'm going to use Rococo Rose. Now I'm going to stamp. And I'm having no luck today. I'm trying to... It's too far out of my reach. It's too far in front of me to stamp properly. Okay, so I'm going to do 8 of these. No, I'm going to do 4 of these. Sorry, I was wrong. 4. And I might do another one there because that one's really not that nice. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I've got my petals all stamped. I'm then going to take my pretty peacock. So that was Rococo Rose. That's one of our brand new colours. I'm then going to take my pretty peacock and I'm going to stamp 3 sets of leaves. And because I've now mucked that one up, I'm going to have to get another scrap piece of white. So there's one leaf. Is that one going to fit? Yes. There's another leaf. And I need one more leaf stamped. Yeah, I think it's Murphy's Law today, Shirley. It's not on my side. Like, I had planned that I was going to be home in plenty of time to do my video, and things just go pear-shaped. I guarantee every time I work out that I'm going to go live, things end up going pear-shaped, and yeah, makes it a lot harder than what it really needs to be. But while ever I've got children that I have to drive around and pick up from places, that's the way it's going to be. So... Okay, so I'm going to stamp out that leaf. Now look at that, fits into our leaf punch perfectly. Okay, I'm going to punch out those other 2 leaves. So like that, and another one there. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the punch, the perennial flower punch. I'm going to punch out my petals. So as you can see, because I've stamped in the direction that the punch was going, it makes it easy. You can just pop them straight into your punch and punch them out. Way easier when you stamp them the right way. I'm not going to punch that one out because it's not so pretty. Oh. Making that decision to make that final punch. Am I lined up right? Am I lined up right? Who does that with punches? There. Okay. So I'm going to show you a trick with this flower. So I'm hoping that I've stamped enough. Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm going to line up 2 of the flowers, so just with a glue dot. Hey Lena, how you going? From Canada. Thank you for watching all the way from Canada. Okay, so I'm going to line up this. I'm going to straddle those petals and we get a gorgeous flower like that. But I wanted a little bit more oomph. I wanted a little bit bigger flower, something a little bit better than that. So I decided what I would do is I'm going to cut these ones apart so I have some extra petals. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with my glue dots, I'm going to pop glue dots on the front of them all. Oh, I've got one on my finger now. can I get that one off my finger? Yep. And this one. Okay. So I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to pop it in between here, and I'm going to make some more petals. That one got one on it? Yeah. Okay, pop it in behind. So you're popping it in behind just really so it just pokes out in between those two petals. Okay, this one. And what we're doing is we're just getting a bit full of flower. So try this. If it's on your wish list, try it. Hey Elaine, hey Virginia, how you going? Hey Gayleen, hey Angie, how you going? Okay, a couple more. Or one more. Yep, one more just in there. Okay, so see now, we've now got a fuller flower. So all it is the two flowers on top, and then you just cut another two and just poke the petals in behind. So then I'm actually going to tip up those tips so that we have a bit of a shape in our flower. So I'm just bending up the ends of the petals to get a little bit of shape happening. So we've got a gorgeous flower with a bit of shape. Okay, I'll pop my glue dots out of the way. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to use some of the in color paper, and one of the papers that I'm really sad to see go is our timber wood textured paper. So I decided that I would use some of that, some So Saffron. I've got a piece of the wood texture left over cut, so I thought I'm going to line that up. It looks gorgeous on the Sahara sand. I keep calling Sahara sand So Saffron. I have no idea why. And then I wanted to pop a piece of this gorgeous designer series paper on here, so I just with my Tombow adhere that. It is a good tip about the flower, isn't it? I was looking on Pinterest to get some ideas, and I actually looked and I thought, how is that flower so full? And so I sort of fiddled around a bit, and I thought, well, the only way you can do it is to pop those petals in behind. So 11:15 in Canada, and you're still up watching me. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got a gorgeous piece of that timber look paper, and then I'm just going to, now this is the gorgeous in color cardstock designer series paper. We've got writing on one side, and we've got this gorgeous, it looks a little bit like chicken wire on the other side, and I thought that looks super cute, so I'm going to pop that on just like that. Okay, so you can see it's gorgeous soft colors coming through, and then we have our flower, and then we have our gorgeous leaves. Okay, so that's sort of what I've got planned, and then I thought with this, it's light enough that I could actually stamp the sentiment on it. So the sentiment I'm going to do is wishing you a blissful future, and I'm going to stamp that in Pretty Peacock. So I'm just going to have to try and get over the top so I can make sure I stamp that straight. Seeing it's on this gorgeous wood textured paper, I don't want to make it crooked. Wishing you a blissful future. Okay, and then I'm going to use my triple banner punch. I'm going to banner the end of that. Just like so. And I need to go a bit shorter. There. Okay, yes, that's looking super cute. The new colours, Helen, are gorgeous. Sorry, I'm going to have a bit more of my coffee. Oh, lovely. Okay, so now I'm just going to pop that together. So I want to pop my flower up on dimensionals. I want to then glue with my liquid glue with my sentiment. So I'll pop my flower up. And I'm going to pop about 3 dimensionals on the back there just to make sure that it sits up really nice. Yes, Galen, the flower and the leaves, like it's just really, really, really nice. To tell you the truth, I haven't used these flowers very much at all in this stamp set yet, but I love this. I love this flower, and I love the Pop of Petals is one of my favorite sets, and I think because the Pop of Petals is my favorite set, this one reminds me of that you can build flowers and build them up. Mind you, I'm really, really excited about the Daisy Lane that's coming in our brand new catalogue. That Daisy Lane stamp set is simply gorgeous, so I'm very excited about it. Okay, so I want that to sit just offset. I want to cover the end of my banner, and I want to have it sitting just offset like that. And then with the leaves, I'm just going to pop a little bit of Tombow on the bottom of those leaves. I don't mind that the top's going to sit up. It doesn't bother me if they sit up off the... So I'm going to pop one there. And so I was super excited getting all these projects sorted this morning. I was like, I had a feeling that my day was going to end up panning out like it did. So I'm glad I'm not sitting here winging it. I'm glad I knew what I was making. Normally I sit here, sometimes I sit here and I wing it. Sometimes my life, things just get so hectic that I end up sitting here and I just go, these are the sets I'm going to use. I'm just going to see what I can make with them. But thankfully, today I didn't have to do that. Okay, that one like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty cute. So of course I'm going to definitely have to put it onto a gorgeous Rococo Rose base. And I think it's got to pop up off that for sure. So I'm just going to crease that with my bone folder. Make that nice. And pop that on some dimensionals. Hey Ruth, how you going? You just got home from work. Thanks for joining me. Well, this is a nice relaxation watching someone craft, isn't it, after you've been at work all day? How lucky am I that this is my work? This is what I do all day. So I have the best job in the world. And I can tell you, when I joined Stampin' Up, I actually didn't think that I was going to end up doing Stampin' Up as my full-time job. But I now am a Stampin' Up demonstrator full-time. That's how I earn my living. And it's going to start taking me places that I never dreamt that I would go to. So I'm about to travel overseas on the incentive trip to Greece. And I've earned the incentive trip for next year, which is Maui. And considering New Zealand for onstage was the first time I've ever travelled out of Australia, I'm doing pretty well. Are you crafting while you're watching me, Ruth? That's good. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up on the front of my card like that. And that's super gorgeous. And I can tell you, if I had my blends or my Stampin' Right marker that goes with the in colours, I would spritz that, but I actually don't have that. So I think what I'm going to do, we've got these gorgeous little, this comes in, I think it's in the Bird Ballad suite, but we've got these gorgeous little centres for the middle of our flowers. So I'm actually going to use one of these cute little fuzzy flowers, centres for the flower in the middle of my flower. And I think that just gave it more of a real country look. Seeing I'm using the Timber Designer Series paper. So super cute. And then we've got these beautiful embellishments that go with our in colours. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open up one of these packs. And I'm going to get out, I'm thinking, the Pretty Peacock ones. So I'm going to pop, I think, a large one. So just with my Take Your Pick tool, large one up there, a medium one. Now I always do things in threes, so a medium one, I think, over here, and a little tiny one can go down here. But look at that super gorgeous special card using our new in colours. Some of the wood textures. Now the wood textures, I think, I'm not sure, but I think has sold out in the Australian market. I'm not sure. You could jump onto my online store and check it out. It may still be on. And available. If someone knows, let me know. I'm just wondering whether that's, no, it's gone hard. I was going to say I had some shimmer paint that I could have used. Actually, I'm going to do that too. I had my rose gold shimmer paint out that comes with our Everything is Rosy bundle. I'm actually going to put some cute little splotches of my rose gold around because I thought it goes really well with the Rococo Rose. So I'm using just a stylist, like a embossing tool, and I'm just going to pop some little rose gold shimmer dots around. Which that just makes it as well. Look at that. And now we've got some rose gold shimmer dots as well. So, super rose gold shimmer paint is awesome. If you haven't got the Everything is Rosy bundle, my lord, my question is why not? Because it is such a lovely bundle. And there is so much you can do with it. There's been so many videos as well of everybody that's using it. So it's still available, and it's only going to be available until the end of this month, which is 3 more days. So 3 more days to get in and get that Everything is Rosy bundle, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some of those ink pads away. Now I'm going to do something that's a little bit different, and I haven't really finished thinking out this card because I did actually half design it and then I had to take off and go. But I'll grab the next set. I'll get rid of that one and I'll grab the next one. Okay. And I'll take that paper over there. Okay, so the next one is the gorgeous Butterfly Wishes. I'm going to pop that over to the side so we don't wreck any of that shimmer paint on there. I need to pop it in there. Okay, so I'm going to, my colour palette for this one is Shaded Spruce, Rich Raspberry and Early Espresso. And I'm going to use the Stamparatus and, just dropped all my cut bits everywhere. And believe it or not, I actually lost a stamp out of this stamp set today, and I'm going to have to go through my craft room with a fine-tooth comb to find it. I've lost the little leaf. I've never lost a stamp, ever. And I felt it, I lifted up my ink pad and I felt it hit the front of me and fall on the floor. But for the life of me, I've been over the floor and I cannot find it. So after I'm finished doing my video today, I will be combing my craft room trying to find it. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Stamparatus. And I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock. And I need to clean that all off. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp. Now, this is a distinctive stamp, and it is simply gorgeous, but the best effects that you will get is sponging with this stamp to be able to get your colours right and to get the effect that you need. Because it's a distinctive stamp, you don't need too much ink. I actually tried with the markers, so I actually did have a go using our Stampin' Right markers, and I was not successful. So I then chose to go to sponge daubers with my ink pad, and it seemed to work a lot better that way. So what I'm going to do first is I've got rich raspberry here, and I'm going to ink up. I'm going to bring that into screen. I'm going to ink up the flowers. Now you really need to have your stamp set beside you to see where the flowers are, because it's really hard to actually try and distinguish exactly where they are. So I'm looking here, I'm looking and I'm thinking that looks like 2 buds, so that's those buds there. Okay, so I'm just going to, with my rich raspberry, then I've got the flower here in the middle, so I'm just going to ink that up in the middle. And then there's the couple of flowers over here, so I'm just going to randomly ink that. Now you don't have to be too particular in how you do it, but you wait until you see these flowers stamped. You will be like absolutely amazed. Okay, look at that gorgeous stamp. I'll get it a bit closer when we've done all the colouring. So then I'm going to get some shaded spruce. I'm going to clean off my stamp with my chamois. I'm going to get my shaded spruce and I'm going to go over where I think the leaves might be. Okay. I'm telling you, you're all going to want this stamp set when you see this. Okay. So I'm looking at that stamp again and I'm like, there's some leaves. There's some leaves. There's a leaf there. There's a couple of leaves sticking out there. Maybe there. Shaded spruce again, and I'm thinking leaves down here. I think that's going to be, and maybe some just there. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to stamp that down. And there's some leaves. Okay, so the next colour that I'm going to come through with is my Early Espresso, and I'm going to do all the branch part of this with my Early Espresso. So clean off in between each time so you don't cross-contaminate your ink pads. Okay, so Early Espresso, I'm then going to look at where the branches are, and I'm going to ink up those with my sponge. Branches there in the middle, and a branch up there. Okay, and this is when you see the wow factor, when you see the whole lot stamped. It is stunning. I'm looking here, I feel like I need more of that greenery there in the leaf, which I did that last time as well. Okay, so it's that bit just there. Fill up that little gap, and that's better. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in so you can see that a little bit better. Look at that detail in that stamp. Is that not fantastic? It is simply stunning, and it's supposed to have that real water painted look, but absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that I'm going to use as my front layer on my card. So I'm going to pop that one aside. Then I want to stamp quite a few of the other images. We've got lots of butterflies and flowers and things. So this is where the magic happens when you see this. Okay, I just need to clean off that one so I don't get that all over my hands. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rich razzleberry. I'm going to go through with all my rich razzleberry and I'm going to stamp all my butterflies. And yes, you can see there's marks on there, but that's totally okay. So with my rich razzleberry, I'm going to clean off those stamps first. This is the wow factor. You think the first part was the wow factor, but this is really the wow factor. Okay, so we're going to sponge up all of these with our rich razzleberry. So the flower, there's a couple of 3, 4 butterflies. Now the butterfly in this punch, in this set, this one, and this one, the duo punch, the butterfly duo punch that we have, fits those 2 butterflies. These other butterflies, though, you will actually have to cut out by hand if you want to cut them out. So I'm going to stamp that down. So that was just with the rich razzleberry, okay? And look at that. Now, you need to see that up close as well because the detail in these stamps is unbelievable. Look at all of that detail. Absolutely stunning. Really, really totally detailed, simply stunning stamps. And you will find, I need to do that one a bit better, you will find that the sponging is the way to go, okay? I'm going to probably keep us up that close. I'll bring that over so you can see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to now, with the shaded spruce, I don't have to clean that off because the shaded spruce is a darker colour. I'm now going to go through and do the edges of my butterfly here, the body of my butterfly, and I'm going to do that with all of the butterflies. So I'm just going to go through and do all of the edges of the butterfly. Okay. And I'm even going to do the edges of the flower. Are you ready for this? Okay. I'm going to bring that into view so you can see. This is when the wow factor happens. You can play around with these and mix up a lot of colours, but are you ready? Look at that. Is that not stunning? Does a little flower match up with the old petite petals punch? I'm really not sure, Sandy. I don't think I have the petite petals punch, so I'm not sure. Someone else I think mentioned that at On Stage, but look at that. Now, is that not wow factor or what? Now, the thing is, yes, you can use the punch. I might get the duo punch out so you can see that. Where is the duo punch? Is it possible? Yes. Okay. So I'll show you how we can, I'll put those ink pads away so I don't get that all over me. I'll show you how you can pop out those with our punch. And then the rest you're going to actually have to cut by hand. Fussy cut. Okay, I'll pop that aside and clean that up in a little while. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how the punch actually lines up with these. Okay, so the little butterfly lines up perfectly and we can punch it out. Just like so. And the larger butterfly, and we're going to cut. I'm going to cut that off so I don't end up cutting those butterflies there. Okay, so we've got the little butterfly with the duo punch, and now we'll go with this one, and I'm going to have to go opposite hands here. This is going to be khaki going in with my opposite hand, but I'm sure I'll be okay. Okay, and the beauty of this one is on our butterfly one, the bodies aren't stamped. This one is. So there we have that one there. And to save time, I've gone ahead and cut my other ones out ahead of time. So I'll grab those out. Zoom out. Okay, no problem. There you go. All right, so we have that cut out. I was only zoomed in for the detail, so you can actually check out the detail of the gorgeous butterflies. Okay, there we have one cut out, another one cut out. I've got a few cut out here. That one. Oh, that one. Got a couple of flowers. A little butterfly there. And another one. I don't know whether I'll use all these, but I have them cut out anyway. So my plan was, I'm just going to strategically place these around. So this one I think could really definitely go there. And I'm thinking I could probably pop him up on a dimensional. So maybe two, no, maybe just one dimensional on his body. Okay, so we have, and I'm just going to have a bit of a dimensional sticking out there, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, we'll pop him up there. I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. Where are my minis? I guarantee every time I go to get something, it's gone missing. There's some mini ones. I have mini dimensionals there, a whole pack somewhere. Ah, that might be them. Yes, there they are. I knew I had some. Okay, so this little butterfly, I'm just going to strategically place them around because I'm not actually quite sure exactly where I'm going to pop them all yet. I'm thinking a flower could go there nicely. I don't think I need that many butterflies. I want to pop this one on because he's cute. I think he could go there on a mini dimensional. No worries, Jenny. Okay, so we're going to pop that one there. I'm going to pop that one there because he's looking pretty cute there. Okay, what else have I got? Got another one there. I'm going to leave them and I'm just going to stamp a sentiment out of here. Love to celebrate you. It was a perfect day because of you. A sweet friendship refreshes the soul. I'm thinking it was a perfect day because of you. Sounds wonderful. It was a perfect day because of you. That one. Whoa. Nothing like throwing the block around. Okay. That's pretty cute. So I think I'm going to do that in our basic grey. Probably could do it in black, but I'm not really, I'm not a lover of black with sentiments, so I'm just going to stamp that on a scrap piece of paper first. Oh, there's one there. Just to make sure it stamps because it's a brand new stamp. I haven't used it. That looks good. Okay. So I'm going to stamp that just in there. It was a perfect day because of you. And I think I'm going to pop another little butterfly down there. That's looking pretty good. Definitely needs a little bit of bling. And I think what I'm actually going to do is I think I'm going to spritz it. I feel like it needs a bit of spritzing. I feel like it's just too bare. All that white space is just too bare. So I'm going to grab my markers. And I think I'm going to grab, what have we got here? Basic grey. Sounds like a plan. Now, I'm just going to, with my basic grey, I'm just going to spritz on my card. Just like that. Oh, haven't stuck my flower on there. Who noticed that I haven't stuck my flower on? And if I had my leaf stamp, I would have stamped a couple of leaves coming out of this flower, but I'm so sad, super sad, I've lost that. I haven't even used it and I've lost it already. Carolyn, yes, it is great, this stamp with the Stamparatus. I'm telling you, it is a definite Stamparatus stamp set. There's times where I free stamp most of the time, but when it comes to sponging and doing things like that, the Stamparatus is fantastic for being able to line things up. So I've popped that onto a Blackberry Bliss base, as you can see. I know, I did check the bottom of my shoes, Wendy. I thought that too. I was like, maybe it's stuck to my shoes, but it hasn't. I'm super, super sad. Okay, so I'm going to use a rich raspberry base, which is very similar to my fingernails. Maybe it was, I actually had this at the beautician when I went to get my fingernails done, so maybe the colouring is what made me get my fingernail colours today, but okay, so I'm going to pop that on to the rich raspberry base, and then I'm going to do an insert for it because I feel like it needs something pretty on the insert. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the Stamparatus back in. I'm going to clean up these stamps. I feel like I want just a little spray of the butterflies in the bottom corner. So clean that up. Okay, so I'm going to line my cardstock up here, like so. Pop my magnet on. Okay, so I'm thinking, do I just want to do this butterfly? Like so. And then maybe this little one flying around up here. Or do I want just the little one? Maybe the little baby one. Like that. No, I think I'm going to do those two. That one and that. Yep, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to do those two butterflies in the corner. You love my card, Jewel? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to pick those up. I'm going to grab my rich raspberry again. Sorry, I was thinking I was using Blackberry Bliss, but I'm not. I'm using rich raspberry. Ink up my stamps again. and stamp it down. Beautiful. And then the shaded spruce is, I think that the whole thing that makes these butterflies is the shaded spruce. I think it's just popping that little bit of shaded spruce around the edges, it just makes it. It transforms those butterflies, totally transforms them. Look at that. Now I think, am I going to get even more clever? And pop that there. I feel like it needs that. Does it need that? Tell me, everyone, does it need this? Ah, that. I feel like I need to do that. Right there. Something weird is going on here. Okay, so I'm going to do the rich raspberry for the flower. What part of the flower is going to go there? That. And that one. That. Shaded spruce for the leaves, which are there, 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 and a fair bit of those. No? Yes. No? Yes, down there. That. And then some of the early espresso. Everyone say yes, do it, do it. Okay, I will, I will. There and there. That's looking super pretty. And I think my little spritzing technique needs to come in. And we'll spritz a little bit. Like that. Do we need a sentiment inside? It was a perfect day because of you. What else is in that stamp set? It was a perfect day because of you. A sweet friendship refreshes the soul. Love to you, celebrate you. I'm going to do love to you. Love to celebrate you. I'm going to do that. Love to celebrate you. And I'm just going to stamp it freehand. I'm not going to... Oh, I could do the Stamparatus, couldn't I? Oh, I could. I'll do that. Line it up there. You're really seeing the Stamparatus in play here. That. A gorgeous basic grey. Spritzing scares you, really, Catherine? It just changes it so much. Makes it so pretty. Love to celebrate you. And I did that so super crooked. But that's okay. Look at that. Love to celebrate you. Looks awesome. Okay, I've got a mess to clean up there in my Stamparatus, but that's okay. All right, let's put this card together. Bring in my base. You would leave the text, leave out the text inside. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to throw something in there. So that in there. Got ink all over my fingers, everybody. And on the front. Oh, I just put a splodge of glue on the front, but I'll drag it up and pop it under. Sorry. Look at that. I think it needs a little bit of rhinestones just to set it off. Just to give it that super bling. So a couple of rhinestones placed around. And another one up there. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen on there? So that is using the gorgeous butterfly wishes. I'll bring back in all of our projects that we've done today. So I've made the super cute little tag and cards. I'll zoom back out again so that you can see all these in screen. So we've done the gorgeous tag and card, and our beautiful rose gold shimmer paint has finished there, and our gorgeous butterfly wishes. So thank you for watching today. Today you filled, cleaning, what does it say? Sorry, today free, do after house cleaning and washing, need to try this. Yes, Carolyn, you do need to try it. And please, if you try it, please post a picture onto my my business page. I would love to see what you come up with. But gorgeous, this I think is a stunning set. So brand new items coming in our new catalogue. Make sure you don't miss out on any of these gorgeous new items. 4th of June, they're all available. In Colour Club, remember I have the In Colour Club. I also have a paper share going. If you're interested in a paper share, go on over to my website, which is stampinwithdonnag.com, and you can find all the information over there. Also too, just remember, if you're thinking about purchasing anywhere near $169 worth of product on the 4th of June, you should think about joining my Stamping Up team, my Wild Heart Crafters team, because you can get $235 worth of product and only pay $169, and then you get an ongoing discount of 20% from then for about 6 months. So if you're interested, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions, and if you don't have a catalogue and you don't have a demonstrator and you live in Australia, I would be happy to be your girl. Please message me and I'd be happy to pop one in the post for you. So have a nice day, everybody, and thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.